It appears that this card does exist. Absolutely crazy. I really wanted to believe that there was a mysterious folktale to tell about this card. However, I did a little bit more research after I made the previous video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll cue it right here for you guys, and I strongly recommend that you do go watch that video before watching this video, just so you have an idea of what we're talking about and just my basic thoughts and opinions about this card and about this story. I did a little more digging, and on pokebeach.com, I will link the article in the description of this video, but on November 1st, so before the other article came out, PokeBeach.com releases an article by Water Pokemon Master, a legendary pre-release Raichu certified and graded for the first time. Interesting. The pre-release Raichu card of Myth and Legend has been certified by grading company CGC Cards. A big win for them. The card has often been called the quote holy grail of English Pokemon cards because so few are said to exist. Other article mentioned. And again, go watch that previous video so you understand what the previous article had to say about the card. And again, just some simple backstory to the card. As many longtime fans know, the card was said to have been accidentally created in the late 90s when Wizards of the Coast was printing the pre-release Clefable promos for Pokemon Leagues. The story goes that Raichu cards were accidentally mixed in with Clefable at the printing factory and were supposed to be destroyed, but some Wizards of the Coast employees pocketed a few of them. One account says 11 copies were saved from the factory, though the exact number isn't known. Over the years, some employees showed off their copies at Pokemon events, but a photo of one didn't surface until April of 2006. This was when former Wizards of the Coast employee Mike Boozer posted his copy to the Poke Gym. This was the first published evidence that one existed. So here's the Clefable promo that was intended to be released, and here is the Raichu pre-release error card, let's call it. Since then, the card has been spoofed by people using stamping machines on base set Raichu. This led to grading companies not wanting to certify any, as the cards could be so easily faked they might as well not exist. But now CGC has done a deep dive into authenticating two pre-release Raichu cards known to originate from former Wizards of the Coast employees, including Boozer. CGC used forensic technology, XRF scanning, and imaging techniques to determine the two cards were manufactured in the same fashion as the pre-release Clefable cards. This seems to indicate the cards are legitimate. The one graded a 5.5, which is this one here on the left, was the same one shown by Boozer in 2006, and I guess this one on the right, that's an 8. It's just another one. The first pre-release Raichu analyzed by CGC was sold by Mike Boozer in 2006 to a card collector, who then sold it to a collector named David Person in 2009 for $10,500. According to Person, he is the owner of the most comprehensive English Pokemon TCG collection in the world. Would love to see it. The second Raichu was also bought by Person, who from the other Wizard of the Coast employee, for $20,000 in 2018, just before the boom, guys. Imagine that. Imagine if you just waited 2 more years. That card would be from $20,000, $200,000 more. Person shared this price data with PokeBeach. To be clear, pre-release Raichu was never officially released. This means that if you want a complete collection of Pokemon cards, this arguably doesn't count. Rather, the card is more important to the early history and lore of the Pokemon TCG fandom. Now, again, the article that I read in the last video was released 7 days prior to when I recorded that video on December 6th. So that would have been November 30th. Interesting. So it seems as if that website or that writer didn't do a comprehensive research into the actual history and the lore. I should have as well dove a little deeper before I made that video. However, I wanted to make this video to kind of show some correction and of course tell you the actual story of the card, that it's been found, which is awesome. And we don't know what the card's value going to be moving forward because we only have 2 sales of the card raw before COVID, obviously 2006 and 2018. And now that they're graded by CGC, what was it, a 5, 5.5 and an 8. Again, big dub for CGC instead of the card going to PSA or Beckett. Really want to know what that card would do on the aftermarket today. Again, imagine if that card was sold during COVID or graded and then sold during COVID. Crazy. But again, guys, comment down below your thoughts and opinions about this story. Really, really cool story. Again, nice to put a little closing to the lore of one of the most historical and mysterious Pokemon cards of all time. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you're new or haven't considered subscribing yet. But that will do it for this video. I've queued up an excellent video right here for you guys that I do believe is going to be excellent for your hobby endeavors. Hopefully, I'll see you in that one.